In 1964, this racetrack opened. It was built with one thing in mind: becoming the home for open wheel racing in the western half of the United States. It quickly accomplished that, and with its 3 different configurations in the past decade, this track is home to some of the biggest accomplishments ever in motorsports. Live for the last race of the regular season, it's Phoenix Raceway for the Overtake iRacing League Truck Series. Welcome in, everybody. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper, alongside our co-commentator and producer of the night, Morgan Cook. And we have another great show here for you on this very cold and damp Monday night. I know the entire East Coast under a flood watch this week, but we're in the desert, so we don't have to worry about that rain in the forecast. Phoenix Raceway, 1 mile in length, and the start-finish line has been moved to what used to be the old 1 and 2. It's at the exit of the old turns 1 and 2, so that'll be considered turns 3 and 4. But this tri-oval, triangle-shaped, as they like to call it, and I'm excited here, built back January 1st in 1964, 11-degree banking, and some of these kind of like a Pocono style exit as you come out of 1 and 2. So that'll be an 8 degrees and 3 degrees on the banking. The dog leg, as they call it, will be cut a lot here tonight, Morgan, and it's kind of an advantage if you can slice down through there, but pit road has been extended out past that, so you have to be careful.
Yeah, you can pop that wall pretty easily off the dog leg, and you can use the whole racetrack here. There is no out of bounds here at Phoenix, and we'll see drivers all over this 1 mile racetrack.
So the pavement all the way down, and the old configuration used to be a grass area down at the bottom of that dog leg, and drivers could not cut that portion of the racetrack. But now here today, we're going to see a spread of maybe even 5 wide at times when they come down off of the start finish line. 90 laps here tonight with a pit road speed of 45 miles per hour and 3 green-white checker attempts, as always in the truck series. Stage lap will be at lap number 30 as they cross the line. iRacing fixed setup to complete this regular season. So Phoenix Raceway in the points. We talked about it. Barrett Morton, 4 wins this season. He's going to be looking good on the reset, but there's still an opportunity for a few of these guys to come in here with the playoff style points. You can lock yourself in with a win. Lucas Lyons with 2 wins. He's been penalized and under heavy scrutiny this season, so he's outside the top 10. You got Kyle Mace, who led the points to start off. Chris McCullough, who passed him up. But it's a pretty good gap. If you look considerably, it's more than one race for Chris McCullough to get up where Barrett Morton is. And all these guys have a pretty substantial spread. The closest points really being between 4th and 5th.
Yeah, it's a wide open points battle behind Barrett Morton. Obviously, Barrett Morton is well ahead of the field here, but interested to see how things work out tonight as we move on to your grid.
Well, setting up now, let's take you trackside and talk about the grid here on. He did it. He put it up on the front, and when it mattered most, Nick Gardner with the pole, a 26.213, about half a tenth faster than Chad Ross, who will start on the outside. Row number 2 belongs to Peyton Hubbard with Barrett Morton in the 4th spot. We have Bobby Hall Jr. and Alex Healy, 5th and 6th. Row number 4 belongs to Sean Kaiser and Andy Kurtz. And rounding out your top 10 here today, Daniel Worthington and Daniel D. Cunningham in the 08.
Starting 11th, Justin Branham in the 58, right beside John Mollahan. That is row 6. 13th will be Kenneth McCullough Jr. beside Lucas Lyons at 14th. 15th will be Kyle Mace, and Travis Bieber alongside him in 16th. David Sheets in the 1 machine is going to start 17th tonight. Ron Morris Jr. in the 76 will start 18th. 19th, Wes Wiegand in the 88. Beside him, Tom Hall in 20th.
30 trucks almost out here on the racetrack. 21st position belongs to Michael Robinson with Brian Kaiser in 22nd. 23rd will go to Dustin Reinstedel. Christopher McCullough will be in the 04 and 24th. A little out of the ordinary for the 04. James Kaufman with a great finish last week. He's going to start in 25th with Michael Cole in the 67 and 26th. Eric Parks, the 73 wood grain machine, will be back in 27th. Yusuf Ghali from the Cup Series will be here tonight in 28th position. And David Farmer will round out your 29 truck field here today at Phoenix. So while we have the opportunity, I think it's a good spot here. We're going to bring up a driver that's had a great start so far, but we got to ask, is this the opportunity for him? Let's see if we can find Nick Gardner in the 16. Not seeing him in the Discord at all, so he must be locked in. There he is. C2. He's hanging out in C2. Nick Gardner, Bradley Cooper, Morgan Cook, got a copy?
Yeah, man, I got you.
Real quick here, you started up on the pole. Are you ready to go for tonight?
Yeah, man, I think so. I got nothing really to lose unless I have a great points day, so I'm kind of just trying to do my thing and not think about points and just get after it tonight, man.
Well, you got the fans blowing on you here in the desert. Keep cool, man. Good luck out there.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
That's Nick Gardner in the 16, starting on the pole here tonight. But the Overtake iRacing League Truck Series into the restart zone for the first time today. And we're live for the last race of the regular season. Green flag is out, and we're underway. Oh, truck is loose there. Not sure who that was, but it's going to bring out caution 1. I believe it was Lucas Lyons that got involved in the 48. And he goes sideways through the entry of 3 and 4. Be back on the instant replay and take a look at this. These guys were spread out about 3 wide as they came into that corner, 1 and 2. A little check up there by the 6, and that caused the 48 to check up, locked up the front tires, and the 04 of Christopher McCullough slides into him, sends him end over end. So the 48 truck, lucky to even be running here as he gets shot up into the air.
That was unexpected. I knew there was a spin. I didn't think we were going to go all the way over and back on our wheels.
Yeah, that's iRacing's physics at times, but I tell you, the 04 and the 48 already on the repair button. And how about Nick Gardner? He got a little bit of a Denny Hamlin start there at Richmond when he took off. Just such a jump there. Caught the rest of the field sleeping.
Well, I think Nick Gardner was in the restart zone, but we're not going to get into that too much here, Bradley. Yeah, definitely a good start. This is one of those racetracks. Richmond is another one, actually, now that you mention it, that the leader on the inside has a massive advantage on the restart because the other car is still in a corner, and obviously shortest way around being at the bottom, you have to go the same speed. The inside car can get a much better launch than the outside car.
And so pacing around this place, it's pretty short, just a mile to get around. So some laps led here for the 16 car. And when we talk to him post-race, the mindset is, I've got nothing to lose. And he's right about that. But he has everything to gain. In this situation, if he wins this race, starting up here on the front, he has a pretty good chance of avoiding the carnage and all the things that will happen with a 29 truck field. This could be the one where he seals the deal and gets his way into the playoffs.
Yeah, this is a bit of a call your shot race, and that's what Nick Gardner's doing. He says, I'm good at Phoenix. I can win here. Went outside on the pole with a lap that was, I believe, like a good half a tenth faster, if not better than second place. And he's just going to go out here, do his best, try and lead all the laps, win the race.
And speaking of some guys that are locked in, you've got Barrett Morton, who is obviously locked in. You got the win from Alex Healy at Pocono. He put himself in. He's been finishing top 5, almost a win there last week as we watched him battle it out with a couple of different drivers trying to get up front there, but ultimately Morton came out on top again with that 20 to go. So that's what I'm paying attention to right now. Barrett Morton, he's in the top 5. He usually doesn't show this until later in the race. The 9 truck up here in 4th position. I'd have to say this might be a little too early for Barrett to be up here if he wants the race to go good.
Well, we haven't. Yeah, you said we haven't seen him up at the front here, so I'm not sure. This is kind of out of the wheelhouse. Maybe it just means he doesn't have as far to go middle of the race to catch up to these leaders. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to go, but he had a great qualifying effort. Started 4th, currently running there, and we'll see what this 9 machine has for us throughout the evening.
Doubling back up, Peyton Hubbard, another one of those trucks that did really well last week at Milwaukee. As we set up to take the green flag for the second time today, we were not able to make it a full mile. We made it about 3/4 of one before we had our first caution. 04 and the 48 get into contact. Lap number 1. Pace truck pulls off, and what a long straightaway here you're expected to keep pace speed for. That's another factor where the anticipation of these restarts drags out forever, and I think that's another advantage to how Nick Gardner got such a good start.
Yeah, if you're not side by side, it really lessens the chance of you having an incident, so see if you can do it again.
Well, into the restart zone for the 16 Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet. Green flag is out, and we're back underway. 51 again on the outside, diving it down to the bottom is Ross. He's not going to get the advantage here, and the 16 machine of Nick Gardner loose. He got something happen here. I say a technical issue with the 16.
I would agree with that. He's coming right down pit road. Oh, that could have been a jump start. That could have been the issue there because he took that thing straight to pit road. Monitor that.
So a penalty possibly for the 16, and that leaves the race back up for grabs. Chad Ross to the inside of Peyton Hubbard. The skies have cleared for these boys in the lead, trying to change hands through 3 and 4. Well, I'm going to do that all day. It's actually 1 and 2, but for all you Phoenix fans out there, it will forever be engraved in your brain that that's 3 and 4. Peyton Hubbard's able to prevail. Now the 5 of Andy Kurt starting to show his hand, and the yellow flag is out. I think this will bail Nick Gardner out a little bit here. He was able to get back out on the racetrack just in time.
We have a parking lot on the backstretch. Used to be the front stretch. Yeah, I'm also super confused by this racetrack and all the reconfigurations and all that, but we'll do our best here to get it sorted this evening. Ryan Stettle's in it.
It looks like another Kaufman got a good piece of it. Looked like Michael Cole there picked up some right-hand damage on the front.
Let's have another look at it. I saw the 11 was in it, Ryan Stettle. See him and Kaufman come together. 76 maybe off of turn number 2.
Yeah, 3 wide coming out of that corner. Just not going to work. Gets up into the... Kaufman came up a little bit too high. I think they would have been okay, but Kaufman just came out a little wide there on the exit. We could real quick. Michael Cole, he checked up, but somehow still picked up damage. He's on pit road. I don't know if we can get back to that in time, but yeah, he picked up a ton of damage as well.
He's that truck with the black hood right there in the side of Kaufman.
Oh, right there. He got into the side of Kaufman. Okay. I thought he had checked up in time. I saw him sitting at the end of that, and I thought he had slowed down, but he actually kind of hit that wall there, that barrier that was the 25, and that'll bring out our second yellow. So guys getting a little racy here in 1 and 2. They carry across that dog leg. They have the run, the advantage, but you know, that flat corner coming off of there, it's similar to Pocono, how you exit that corner, and the guy on the outside is going to have the advantage, and that's why Kaufman come up into the door, unfortunately, brings out second caution of the night. Wes Wiegand back here in 15th position. He is up 4 spots. He's on the move already. Talk a little bit about the 88 machine, and we've seen glimmers of greatness here from the 88, but here lately kind of been quiet.
Yeah, he's had some tough runs recently, just caught up in stuff not necessarily of his doing, and that's racing sometimes. You're on top of the world one week, and the next week you're wadded up in the back of the field. It's just something about this 88 has been kind of a magnet for weird incidents and getting caught up in other people's mistakes. So see if he can turn it around here tonight. He's already up 4 spots, and see if he can keep marching up to the front.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of that at Milwaukee, where he was up in the top 5, and then Tempers started to flare up a little bit. Had some moments there with a few of these drivers, but into the top 15 and continuously on the move. That's what you got to keep doing if you're going to be competitive here. Overtake iRacing League. So doubling back up, Peyton Hubbard just bails out the 16 of Nick Gardner. He's going to be restarting back here in 24th position. So he's got a lot of ground to make up, but he was the fastest in practice. He was the fastest in qualifying. I have no doubt that the 16 car has the speed to get up here. It's just whether or not he can navigate with having 2 cautions this early in the race. It's going to be tough.
Good news, too, is he is still on the lead lap. So he doesn't have to fight for that lucky dog. He will be able to stay on the lead lap and race with these guys. Every car he passes is going to be 4th position here. So good news for the 16.
Hopefully we don't have another mistake here. The anticipation, again, wears you down. You sit here and pace speed for the entirety of this straightaway and keeping it just below 50 miles per hour so you don't get caught with too fast entering this restart zone. Very easy to do. But here we are with the 51 of Hubbard. 38 on the outside, green flag back out. The 3rd time today. We're going to try this again. Big checkup on the outside. Barrett Morton gets pegged or stuck behind Chad Ross, and that allows the 24 of Sean Kaser to get to the inside. He's going to go for 3rd.
A good run to the inside by the 24 machine. He is going to grab a couple spots out of that.
And 6 or 7 trucks get really close to the wall there on the exit of turn 2.
Got one into the wall. That was Kyle Mace.
Mace having a problem with the 55. He's back in roughly the 10th position here, but he's under fire from about 4 different trucks here on the outside.
And Mace popped the wall getting into turn number 3. Really low. Oh, there goes Mullahan.
Morton's around. Mullahan in the 6. That's going to bring out another yellow. I said Morton, I meant Mullahan, but the 6 car, you just flip that number upside down, I would have been correct. He just got really loose coming off that exit. That's the flat spot there that if you get back to the throttle too soon, you're going to step out. You want to try to lean on that right rear to bring it back to the bottom, but you don't want to get too low, and that's what happened.
We'll see it better with an onboard. But you can see he got a little tight, then he got a little bit loose, and then it just came around on him. Have a look here at his steering wheel. Roll through turns 1 and 2 here.
And you can see that transition on the racetrack with the dog leg also almost yanking the wheel out of these guys' hands. All of that turbulence that you're feeling right there, it snaps free. But all that turbulence that you feel hitting that transition of the racetrack, that can affect the handling of these trucks as well.
And you can heat up tires in a way that you weren't expecting by doing that too repeatedly. And not sure exactly what happened there. We haven't had a ton of green flag laps, so it could have just been cold tires again for that 6 machine. But around he goes into the inside wall, and see how well he's able to continue. He's back to the 24th position right now, still on the lead lap.
Well, another chance here to talk to some of our drivers. We're going to pull the 51 truck, our current leader, Peyton Hubbard, up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Peyton, we saw the skies kind of clear. Do you have any clarity on what happened to the 16 after you took over that lead?
I know that on the initial, he jumped the restart. So he didn't know that on the initial start, it's on green. So he waited to the very end of the box and went right before it went green. So that black flagged him and he had to serve it pass through. But then I think he just kind of pulled off. I don't know where he is right now, but I know that's what happened on the initial start.
Yeah, I kind of called that on the broadcast. I believe I called it a Denny Hamlin on the start there.
Yeah, that's what we were saying.
But the restarts, though, I mean, it looks kind of treacherous. It's a long straightaway, and you guys have had 4 opportunities now to make a mistake. How difficult is it to get going here?
If we'll just stay green, it'd probably be pretty easy. But you just got to watch to your left. You know, if you're taking the dog leg, just make sure that when you're coming up, that the guy on your outside is not holding his line, because it is your job, if you're taking the dog leg, to make sure that you're not going to come up on that person. So it's just kind of a watch your surroundings, and kind of as it fades out, you won't see too many people take it. So it's just in the beginning, until we can kind of get settled, you'll see some people be aggressive.
Well, Peyton, we appreciate your time, buddy, and hopefully, you can keep this thing up there, keep it shiny side up, and we'll see maybe post race.
Thank you.
Bandits Motorsports driver Peyton Hubbard in the number 51 here today. He's going to restart on the inside as the pace truck lights go out. So it's like he was saying, Morgan, it's just, it seems like the restart zone just a little bit difficult for some of these guys here tonight. We've already seen one penalty here, and we've had 4 chances now for another one.
The restarts are always difficult, especially like we mentioned earlier in a curved restart zone. Really easy to light up the rear tires. Not a lot of banking at this racetrack, so a lot of things working against the drivers in terms of being able to have good, successful restarts. Not to mention the 8 lanes of paved area that you can just dive willy-nilly to try and get down into turn 1. So I'm surprised we haven't seen more incidents in turn 1, to be honest with you, with just how bananas this place restarts.
Well, here we go again for the 5th time today. Peyton Hubbard on the inside, Andy Kurtz on the 2nd position. Green flag is out. We're back underway. 24 gets a great jump. He's going to match the speed with the 51, dives it down into the dog leg. We're almost 3 wide behind him. Trouble, and that's the 03 and the 9 of Morton. He gets into the 03. Kenneth McCullough Jr. around, and we've got a junkyard going into turn 1. Healy involved, Travis Bieber, Daniel Cunningham, Eric Parks got a piece of it. About 8 different trucks here, and another restart attempt. Here is the 9 of Morton. He comes down into the 03. That's on the 9 for sure.
Let's see what it looked like from the 08. Who was, I think, in the kind of the middle, maybe end of this sort of incident here, and let's see what he saw.
Nick Gardner also involved in that. In the 16, that's unfortunate because he was working his way back up towards the top 15. This is on board with Daniel Cunningham. Yeah, Morton just came down into the 03.
Yeah,
that's all I'm seeing right now. I mean, we can watch it from a blimp camera, but I'm fairly certain the 9 just didn't know he was down there.
I would agree with everything you just said. Just not knowing where you are on the racetrack, where your competitors are on the racetrack, and leads to at least 10 cars involved in this turn 1 incident. Yeah, if I had to guess, Barrett was focused on where the 38 in front of him was going and trying to go to the inside of the 38, and unfortunately just got into the 03, who got into the wall, and the 97 got turned, and the 08 was in it, and obviously I could list all the car numbers, and we can see them all. There's Gardner, Ryan Stedel, and a bunch of cars involved in this one. Kaufman again, Parks is in it.
So that sets us up for our 5th caution of the night. But so far, 20 laps, 4 cautions rather, felt like 5. I guess 5th restart of the night. But Baron Morton going to bring it down pit road, Nick Gardner as well, and these guys going to get some service. We're going to take a quick commercial break here live on V-Speed while they have the opportunity. You're watching the Overtake iRacing League Truck Series live from Phoenix, the last race of the regular season. More coverage continues after this.
And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
The wheel gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Zwack.
A push from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
back live from the Phoenix Raceway. The Overtake iRacing League on their 5th restart of the night. We've had several cautions, the last of which involved about 7 to 10 trucks. Alex Healy, Dustin Reinstedel, Travis Bieber, Barrett Morton, the 03 of Kenneth McCullough Jr., Daniel Cunningham, Eric Parks, all kinds of carnage. Nick Gardner, who started on the pole, is back deep in this field. Into the restart zone for the 5th time today. Here we go back green, and a great jump here for the 51 of Hubbard. 24 has the 5 of Kurtz on the inside. Will we make it through the dogleg this time? 3 wide as they go into turn 1. There's the 4. That's the 45. Yusuf Ghali, he's worked his way up 20 spots, already to 8th, and they're 3 wide in front of him. We'll check up there with Ross. Kyle Mace also in there as well. Still offset 3 wide as they go into the dogleg. 45 really cuts it all the way down to the wall.
That's about as close as you can get to that wall without knocking the heck out of it, and the 45 keeps moving forward.
That was close. He's still to the inside of the 58 of Justin Branham. Branham gets loose off of turn 2. Almost comes across the nose of the 45. Now they go into 3 and 4. Chad Ross on the outside in front of him, trying to overtake Mace, but he's not going to get it. That bottom's a lot stronger here. 3 wide again.
It'll be tough to complete this pass. Oh, they're dooring each other down
contact.
into 1.
He runs him up the racetrack. The 58 gets the door from the 45. This is for 5th position in front of him. Ross is falling off the pace now. Ross really checks up the 58 car, and the 45, who cut it again all the way down to the wall, doesn't have the advantage here. 58 car has to let up to let him to the inside. That's what's so deceitful here, Morgan. It's just coming off that dog leg. If you don't know a guy's down there, or if he cuts and gets the advantage and then is suddenly to your inside as you enter 3 and 4, it can be dangerous.
Yeah, you can definitely find yourself turned off somebody's nose. We just saw it a little bit ago. Just by not understanding how wide the dog leg is and how fast you can get a run off that corner, it can really deceive the drivers around you.
Battle here for the 4th spot. Kyle Mace working on the back bumper. The top 3 have pulled away about a second. Sean Kaser, Andy Kurtz, Peyton Hubbard, the top 3. They're right on top of each other here as they come out of 3 and 4. Just behind him, Bobby Hall Jr. in the 4th position. He has a move now by Kyle Mace, who doesn't cut the dog leg, and he's going to come right up to the bumper. It looks like he's back in this corner up. He'll get the nose in here as they come off of turn 2. Back deeper in the field, Flex Motorsports driver. There's Wex Wiegand, Tom Hall on the outside. These guys battling it out for the 12th and 11th position. 3 wide here all the way to the bottom. There's McCullough Jr., I believe that is. No, that's Lucas Lyons. Lyons got caught up. He's all the way down the racetrack here. He knew he couldn't transition back up the racetrack off of that cut. That was a heads-up display there for the 48 car, and he's been watched under a microscope here. We got another yellow flag. I think Michael Cole might have been involved in this. Does it happen in front of him here, Morgan? I'm trying to figure this out.
I see the 4 machine off the pace. Wait a minute.
It's Michael Robinson.
I think they're slowed down for the caution.
Like they were checking up for the caution. Yeah, they were checking up already, so.
Let's just go back a little
Not
further
entirely
here.
sure.
See it there.
Is this the stage?
Oh, this is
Lap
the stage.
30?
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. So there you go, Peyton Hubbard. I guess those laps counted away really quickly. So back to the live shot. Peyton Hubbard's going to get the win on the stage, and he's going to lead them down pit road. So a little glitch in our brains there. We didn't get much green flag racing there in that stage, and Hubbard's able to pull away the points.
Yeah, completely forgot about stage racing. Went back a little bit to, what was the first year they had stage racing? 2017? Sure, I'll get corrected on that.
A9 Burnouts in the chat. Says Bradley Cooper win tomorrow. We'll have Morgan Cook in the number 51 machine. Speaking of 51, wins the battle off of pit road here. But Lucas Lyons, Christopher McCullough stay out. And if you just heard a clap, I got a mosquito just now. So I just want to make clear that there was a good reason for it.
It's still too cold for mosquitoes. Saskatchewan.
Oh, they're out.
Still snow on the ground up
They're
there.
out.
Looks like McCullough is going to bring it down pit road. There's the 04 right there. Means Lucas Lyons is going to be a lonely guy. Only driver who did not stop that time. 17 lap old tires compared to everyone else's brand new tires.
And if you could tell during all of that, my voice inflection was going up and down. It wasn't because of the action. It was because that mosquito had landed on my hand and I didn't realize it. It was actually taking a blood sample for a solid 3 minutes before that stage break. So I'm going to blame it on the mosquito that I missed it.
Whatever makes you sleep at night, Bradley.
It's got to make me feel better about it. Lucas Lyons has to feel better that he's up towards the front now. We've seen this 48 truck just in and out of the top 10 all season long. But to seal the deal, it happened at a dirt track.
Yeah, he's been up at the front a lot in a number of leagues. OiL, Original Rebels Racing League, winning a lot of races, running up in the top 5. He's had some issues in the last few weeks with keeping the fenders on it, and other drivers have pointed that out. So he is under a microscope, said it a few times here tonight, and he's just hoping to go green, set sail, drive away, and not have to worry about passing anyone. And we'll see how that goes for him here at the conclusion of this lap.
Well, I can tell you that if he tries to turn the pace truck like he just did, that probably will seal the deal. So he's going to have to be careful with that. I'm only joking, though. The 48 truck, very fast here. He gets ahead of Peyton Hubbard. 51 truck, who won the stage, is going to start on the outside. Pace truck's going to pull off, and we have that long straightaway to get these guys racked back up. Yusuf Ghali up to 6th position, 22 spots up. Kyle Mason up 10 spots as well in the 5th position. The top 10 has flip-flopped. Back into the restart zone. 48, the control truck. Green flag is out. The second stage of racing is back underway. Oh, they're 3 wide deep back here. 5th, 6th position. John Kaser almost got stuck with Yusuf Ghali on the inside. He still has a nose there. Not going to be enough to get the pass. A little loose here for Ghali. And Mace gets up to the back bumper. There's Chad Ross diving to the inside in 3 and 4. On board with Daniel Worthington. He's deep in this hornet's nest, sitting back in the 10th position. Watch these guys dive as they come across the dog leg. Look at the transition. It's harsh. Challenge for the lead already. Kurtz gets to the inside. He's going to take every point. Change for second now. The 51 of Hubbard goes by. Older tires here for the 48. He's got about a 16-lap difference here as they come across the line. Car into the wall. That was Mace just behind him. Almost contact here from the 24.
Got a little bit of help there from the 24.
How about Yusuf Ghali getting a 3 for 1 through the dog leg? He works his way up into the 4th position. Kyle Mace, who tagged the wall, kind of started that chain reaction. Now a challenge for 3rd. Here comes the 45 down through, cutting past Lucas Lyons. The top 2 have pulled away about half a second now. off the back of the 45. And this is Yusuf Ghali. He is up 25 positions. And we've seen him race in the Cup Series, Morgan. We've seen him race at VSRL. We've seen him kind of across the board here on V-Speed, BTDY, a few other leagues. But the 45 truck, 54, if you will, and the other leagues, has been fast everywhere we've went.
Yeah, Yusuf's a wheel man, no question about it. He will drive the wheels off of whatever he's driving, and he's showing it right now. He is pulling away from this group, 4th, 5th on back.
And speaking of 4th, 5th on back, you can go all the way back to the 10th position. It's almost double file that deep. Chad Ross, Kyle Mace still going at it here for the 4th position. Ross cuts the dog leg, doesn't get a good enough entry into 1. I don't think he's going to clear. Maybe out of 2 here, he's going to come to the outside and get up near that wall. But Mace going to have a good run from running the outside. They make contact just in front of him. He's on board with Justin Branham in the 7th spot, riding just behind these two. I'll tell you, the battle between Ross and Mace has not subsided at all. That 4th spot.
There's not much you can do when you're running on the inside or the outside here. There's different lines that are favored in different corners, and just like Richmond, you can really pinch somebody down off the corner and make their exit very difficult, and that guy on the inside can run you up the racetrack into the corner and make your center of the corner very difficult. That's just classic Phoenix racing.
And some more chaos back here in about the 15th position. Wes Wiegand has Christopher McCullough, who got caught up in that lap 1 caution with the 48. He's raced back up to 16th now. David Sheets on the outside in the 1 truck. This is going into 3 and 4 now as they come across the line. Nick Gardner, who started on the pole, has raced back up to 14th, trying to carry these guys. Behind them, James Kaufman 3 wide as they come across the dogleg. Kaufman getting pinched up on the outside there. The 114 of Travis Bieber's got the nose on the inside. This is for the top 20 positions. Contact between Parks and the 114 of Bieber.
All right, Wiegand just moved the 16 machine going into turn number, was that number 4? That was just about a big accident, but everyone was able to drive it off the corner.
Speaking of moving, I saw the 114 get into the side of Parks. I thought that was going to be a caution as well. They're still a little bit racy back here. Healy cuts the nose off of Parks. There wasn't a hole there, but he made one. I'm waiting for the triangle guy to have a breakout race here. This track's just a miniature Pocono, and in front of him, the guy we were talking about, but this is the 114 of Travis Bieber. He's falling back. He's actually down 6 positions now, back to 22nd, and it looks like that truck's starting to struggle here. He's on the same tires as the guys around him. He just doesn't seem to have the speed here to stay in spot.
Also some pretty heavy damage on that machine, both for that left front corner especially. I think he got tagged pretty hard in one of those incidents, and if you have suspension damage, this is about the worst place to have it. Your truck will drive horribly all night, kill the tires, and you'll be struggling.
Back up here towards the top 10, Kyle Mace being challenged by Daniel Worthington for 8th position on the outside. David Farmer also just behind him. The door opens, it gets slammed shut. Mace is going to fill that hole. But Kyle Mace, also another one of those trucks that's starting to struggle here. He's still up 6 from where he began this race, but we saw him up there challenging for the top 5. Now he's struggling to stay in the top 10.
And Lucas Lyons is the same way. He restarted as the leader. He is all the way back to the 13th position on those older tires. Pretty excited to come in and bring it to pit road here shortly.
48 laps completed, working on lap 49 now as they come across the line. And I'd have to say right now, the way it sits, Andy Kurtz, Peyton Hubbard, Chad Ross, without Nick Gardner up here, these guys are pretty much the class of the field. There's Ross going to the inside. That's a lap down truck there. Barrett Morton has parked it on pit road, and, you know, he's sitting good enough in the points here tonight, but I'm really surprised that the 9 has chose to park it here, because even with a drop week, this situation he's going to create by staying on pit road now 13 laps down, actually 8 laps down rather. That's kind of a weird scenario going in for the reset.
Yeah, usually you want momentum in these sort of situations where you just want to keep the high spirits up and roll into the next week knowing, hey,
oh, Hubbard's loose. Ah, man, sorry about that. Sorry to cut you off, Morgan. Hubbard come across the dog leg. I don't know if we can go back and get an instant replay, but he went in to cut the dog leg, and that truck was sideways.
We'll have a shot.
He just about lost it.
Yeah, that was loose. Yeah, that was free.
That was very loose. He got it. He saved it, but now that brings Chad Ross into the picture.
There he goes into second. Chad Ross having his best run of the season right here.
Up to second now for the 38 truck. He's back up to where he began this race. Yusuf Ghali, who's still up 24 positions, under fire now from Sean Kaser for that position as they came out of turns 1 and 2. The racing has greened out here, Morgan. We saw a lot of cautions in that first stage, but now clean and green since the beginning of the second one.
Everyone has sorted it out, and we're seeing a lot of great close battles here. 24 is going to try and come back on this 45 machine, and see the back of the frame. Branham is fighting really hard with Bobby Hall Jr. trying to get that position, which would be 6th. You guys are all fighting for points, all fighting for positions, and Yusuf Ghali wants to win this race.
Ghali really took him down in the dog leg. He followed him line for line. Now takes it and overshoots the entrance of 1 and 2. He's going to lose a ton of spots now. Brings it down pit road. And that's hot. I think he's okay, though. But he'll start the chain reaction. You're going to see a lot of trucks follow this 45.
See if your leader follows him down this time. I'd be pitting pretty soon. The pace had fallen off about a second.
Yeah, they're running 27.4, 27.5. Best lap here that the 45 of Yusuf Ghali is going to run a 26.6. Riding on board back here with Wes Wiegand in the 15th position. Nick Gardner gets back around him after the EDA had moved him out of the way there earlier. 16 is going to go back up in front of him. The situationally here, if you're some of these guys that got cut out of the top 10, if you're Nick Gardner, you're probably hoping for a caution to group these guys back up and give you a chance, because the leaders have pulled out probably a good 5 seconds ahead of you.
At this point in time, Nick Gardner is, let's see it here, 10, almost 11 seconds back. So yeah, there's really not much you can do other than swing a strategy or we're going to caution to get everything back together.
Yusuf Ghali back out on the racetrack. He's passing guys like he's Superman, but this will even out. You saw the leaders still out there on the racetrack, 27 laps on this stint. I think everybody else just kind of praying for the caution to come out. You only have 3 tire sets here available, and these guys used that first one during the stage break, now on their second set for the 45. I believe that was another truck came down. Kenneth McCullough Jr. came down to pit road, but he's got heavy damage. He's back 2 laps down now. He's just trying to get his race sorted out. Christopher McCullough in the 04 battling the 114. This is outside the top 20. This field very spread out now, Morgan. We're talking about almost 17 seconds.
We're getting to the point here. We're going to get to lap traffic in the not too distant future with only about 30 laps left in this race. More drivers coming down pit road, it looks like. Call hit pit road? No, he did not.
Wes Wiegand starting to fade out a little bit. He gets passed by the 07 of Brian Kaiser, and they bump draft through the dog leg. That's not advised. Maybe Wiegand not happy with the way the 07 got around him. I'm not sure, but he was riding the bumper through there. That's an easy way to turn a guy.
Yeah, the truck's already really light. We saw it with the 51. He was wicked loose coming off of 4. Any kind of help there is not really going to be helpful.
Oh, contact there with the 25 of Kaufman. Now the door in the 73 of Parks. There's the trouble, and the yellow flag is out.
Oh, man. You know who didn't want to see that? Yusuf Ghali.
Yeah, that hurts his chances big time. He was a lap down. He's still a lap down. We saw it all unfold here. I'm not sure what's going on with the 88 truck, but he pinched the 25 all the way down the racetrack and then got into his door. I mean, he's got to know he's down there at that point.
Well, let's be the judge of that. Here we are on board with the 88 machine. Pretty good idea here after the dog leg if he can see the 25 on his inside. Yeah, you can hear him.
That'll bring out another caution. Everyone comes down pit road. Chad Ross and Andy Kurtz, Peyton Hubbard, all these drivers have brought it down to pit lane. Race off of pit road about to be underway. There's the 16-year pole sitter getting into his stall. Left sides go up on the 38. The 5 of Kurtz down and away. 38 just behind him. Peyton Hubbard back to third. And Nick Gardner going to come out somewhere around the 12th position, 11th spot. Michael Robinson's going to win that battle. So if you're Gardner, this is a bailout. I mean, after that problem he had there at the start of this race, he gets back into a better situation. But if you're looking at guys that were already down pit road, like Yusuf Ghali, Kenneth McCullough Jr., the situation that they're in now with the wave around, Yusuf Ghali stays out. He's going to be on older tires. About 8 laps. That's probably about a half a second on laps.
Yeah, and that's going to be difficult as well. He's only got 1 set left, I believe, where I guess everyone will have 1 set left in this race with only 25 to go. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how this is going to play out, obviously, and we're going to see if everyone comes down and uses that tire set one more time to get everyone equalized or what happens here. But there's a few drivers that really didn't want to see that. Yusuf Ghali, obviously one of them, as well as your top 3, and then obviously Wes Wiegand and Cofield and Parks didn't want to see that either. Kaufman and Parks, they didn't want to get involved in that. But other than that, everyone else was really praying for a caution, and they got it.
Barrett Morton brings it back out onto the racetrack. Alex Healy also out there as well. 10 laps down for Barrett Morton, 13 down for Alex Healy. 2 trucks have elected to take a vacation from this race. Eric Parks and Michael Cole are behind the wall. So we still have about 26 trucks out on the racetrack. Morton stands to probably make up a spot with Parks being out. But if you're Christopher McCullough, you had the start of the race where you sent a guy into 1 and 2, flipped him over. You haven't been able to get back on the lead lap since. You got Kenneth McCullough, who just got back onto the lead lap, and the 03 who got turned by the 9 of Barrett Morton. A lot of different scenarios here, but this caution helps tremendously.
Yeah, it's a big shakeup in this race for sure. We'll have to see. The 24 and the 38 looked really good at the end of that long run. See if they have anything for the 5 of Kurtz. 51 was fast, had that big moment off of 4. So if you can get back up there, Bobby Hall Jr. haven't said his name much today. We got some new players up at the front.
As it stands right now, your points leader coming into tonight, Barrett Morton. He'll be the leader when the playoffs start. The 5 of Andy Kurtz, who's back in 14th position. He'll make the top 16, but he's going to go try to win this race. Green flag is out, 24 to go. What a great restart there for the 5. The 24 caught sleeping a little bit. There's Bobby Hall on the outside for the 3rd position on Ross.
94's gonna try and roll the top here. Oh, big loose for the 38 on the bottom. He's gonna keep alongside to the dog leg. Dive down into turn 1.
And somebody that's racing his way back up through this field into the top 10. Nick Gardner now in the 10th position. He got around Michael Robinson back here side by side. And
there
the
goes
51
Hubbard.
Hubbard's around. Your stage winner. Caution is out.
Healy just about got
He's
him
going to
too.
lose 20 positions. What happened here, Morgan?
Well, we're going through 1 and 2 here. Got Farmer on the inside. Looks like the 51 is rolling the top side here and just gets a little bit of help off the corner. We go on board with the nose. This 48 machine here, we're going to see. Outside of him is the 51. Little tight off the corner and into the left rear, and around he goes.
That'll do it every time. We saw that at the beginning of this race, guys running out a little bit wide. And honestly, I think he probably could have made that corner and came out the other end. Just maybe pinched up near the wall a little more than he needed to. Because it looked like they were pretty much on the transition there, but we're going to take another quick break here. 70 laps in. We're going to go back green flag racing on about lap 73. You're watching the Overtake iRacing League Truck Series. We're going to be back right after this.
And here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
The battle gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Swag.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it at Auto Club.
Back live at Phoenix Raceway. Overtake iRacing League has concluded 72 laps so far. Going to take the restart here on lap 73 as we double back up. Race recap up on your screen here, and it's been a turbulent day. The first stage of this race had about 5 cautions there, and it it went green for a little bit there, Morgan, but now we sit just outside the realm of a rebreathing caution. 7 now, 4 lead changes. Kurt's going to be on the inside.
Yeah, should be an interesting restart here. We've seen it both ways. We've seen, like you said, 5 cautions in 30 laps. We've also seen a 30-lap green flag run, so it could really go either way, and I have no idea what to expect. I'm on the edge of my seat waiting for it.
Yusuf Ghali back up to 15th after getting trapped a lap down on that last caution. There we go, back green. Andy Kurtz gets a good restart. 24 on the outside, caught sleeping. He leaves Bobby Hall Jr. to the inside. 3 wide down the dog leg as the 38 of Ross takes it to the bottom.
Yeah, Farmer's going to get a really good run all the way down to the bottom of turn 1. They're 3 wide through the exit. Precarious right here.
Acer on the outside has the preferred line. He's going to get a good run here on Bobby Hall as they go into 3 and 4. Second position, battling it out. That's what the 5 of Kurtz wants to see. You can see already he's pulled out 0.6 of a second. They're still side by side. Maybe a crossover here from the 24. He plays it well, gets the nose to the inside in 1 and 2.
So well done crossover. Didn't touch him at all, but got to the inside. Not quite enough grip into turn number 3 to keep it. 94 to second place. Caution is out.
How about this? And the yellow is out. I was just about to say David Farmer is up 25 positions here. He's up into the top 5. Pace Truck's going to drive right through Sean Kaser and your leader Kurtz, and we're going to get this field checked up. Not sure where this happened. On point with the replay here tonight. The V-Speed replay button has been getting an overtime workout, but that's Wes Wiegand and Kaufman at it again.
Yeah, Kaufman off of somebody's nose. Let's see if we can get a better camera angle of that.
That was the 88.
Let's go back and see. I think you might be right. 04 got
Yeah,
caught
I
up in
think
it
they're
again.
still going at it.
That was more of a racing incident than the last one. Just
Yeah.
nothing either driver could really do there. One came up, one came down, and unfortunately the 04 Cullah got caught up in it a little more than he would have liked.
So that brings out our 8th yellow of the night. Shout out to K9 Burnouts. I endorse your behavior. Are the mountains blue? Because mine sure are. Okay, so Morgan, let's unpack this. We had, at the beginning of this race, a start violation by the 16, put him outside. He got bailed out by a caution. Has raced his way back up to 10th. You had Yusuf Ghali during that caution, well, unintentional caution. He had pitted just prior to that, got trapped a lap down. He's raced his way back up to 11th. You've got 2 hungry drivers back here just inside the top 10. Then you have some guys that have been up front since the stage break. Andy Kurtz, Sean Kaser, Chad Ross. The 51 of Hubbard got turned. He's raced, he's raced hard all the way back up to 17th, but we're running out of laps here. And if you're anybody outside of the top 5, I don't think you have a shot at this race. It's been difficult to pass.
Yeah, Phoenix is one of those racetracks where it is beyond difficult to make a move on somebody unless you have a significant advantage. Tires, strategy, something like that's going to be the way that you pass cars, unless you're going to use the bumper. But it's been difficult here tonight, and we've had a lot of cautions, not a lot of long green flag runs to really set up your tires, to have the balance be perfect at the end of the run. We haven't had that tonight, so you've had to get on it on the restart, dive to the inside on this apron and see what you can do into turn number 1, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
A lot of improvising here by the field to try to gain positions. You've seen pit stops and nobody electing outside of the top 10 to come down and get that last set of tires, but you do have a few people that are on that last set. Wes Wiegand, Travis Bieber, Lucas Lyons also came down. Some of these guys that are outside the top 15, they might race their way back up here, but I think it's too little too late. We're going to take the green with about 11 to go. I have to say, Kurtz might have this thing locked up with the restarts he's been getting.
Well, we're going to find out. They're going to put him to the test one more time. What the 94's got to do if he wants to get a good start is he's got to roll up a little faster than the 5 into the restart zone, be ahead of them, and then as soon as they get to the zone, pull alongside, hopefully launch at the same time as the 5. It's very difficult to do at a racetrack like Phoenix.
He's Sean Kaser right on the back bumper of the 5 of Kurtz. He's going to get the nose on the inside of the 94. Bobby Hall dives it down into the dogleg. There goes Ross. He got an even better jump here on this restart. 3 wide with the 84 Farmer on the outside into 1. Look at what Ross just did. And Justin Branham sitting back here just inside the top 10. We've got trouble. Dustin Reinstettle's around. Nick Gardner hard into the outside wall. That is not what you wanted to see for the 16.
Or the 58. Yeah, just checked up on the top from that poor restart the 94 got, and we saw this all the way throughout the field.
4 wide as they went to the dogleg. Gardner got to the outside. Branham just came up into him.
Yeah, if we go on board here with the 16, you'll see that now we're at the restart, but you can see the whole top lane gets checked up. See the inside just motor on past as they go down to the bottom. But Gardner just got to the outside of the 58. 58 gets a little bit tight in the center and came up across the nose right here, and just they got hooked together and boom. Big issues.
I mean, this is for position with 10 to go, and you're going to take everything you can. But if you're Nick Gardner right now, you got to be frustrated because you started this race at the front and you didn't get the lead but maybe 3 laps.
Yeah, it has been one of those seasons for Nick Gardner where if it can go wrong, it probably will. He has not caught many breaks, been caught up in a lot of incidents after a mistake was made or whatever have you, and started on pole tonight. Yeah, led a handful of laps and finds himself on pit road 2 laps down.
Checking back in with Yusuf Ghali, one of the other trucks that have raced their way up to the top 10. He's now in 8th position, the 45 truck, looking to get up there to the top 5, but the laps dwindle away. We're going to take the restart with about 7 to go when we get back set green. 9 truck getting a lap back. That's Barrett and Morton. He's 8 laps down. Could we have enough cautions to where the 9 could be competing again? Oh, man, I tell you what, we watched Thursday. Personally, I was broadcasting production and watched the Road to Pro. There was a driver in there that had started out the race with a technical issue. Was ended up 5-6 laps down. They had enough cautions at Richmond that he worked his way back up to 10th position and was racing 9th coming across the line. It was incredible.
That's a lesson in perseverance. Sometimes that's all you need in iRacing, is just not to give up and keep clawing yourself back into the races.
Yep. They I mean, top split, it's been kinetic at times. It's just a weird situation with some of those guys. They've been pretty clean, but at Richmond, it was a different ball game, and excited to watch. You know, I'm glad that we have coverage of the Road to Pro. Show you some of the names and some of the guys that are in those splits as well. And right here, David Farmer, I think that's a guy that could be in that road with the way he's been driving this truck right now. The ballsy Toyota here has been up into the top 5 at the end of this race. He's kind of pulling a Barrett Morton here, where he was quiet all day long and now up 25 positions. He has a real shot at this win.
Yes, he does. I would not count out Farmer. I believe they call that racing down. Is that right? What they call that in OiL? He's up from the the Cup and Xfinity series, right? Racing down here into the Truck series for the last race of their regular season.
And hence the 29 truck field to start this race. We still have 27 of those trucks still out on the racetrack. pace truck's going to get out of the way. That's one less, and Kurtz just has to do it 7 more times as they come across the line. 84 laps will be completed after this restart. 94 trying to figure out this restart zone. He's going to have to do it perfectly. He got a lot of challengers. Chad Ross is really good at this. Let's see what he's got. Green flag is out. 5 of Kurtz gets a big jump. Both lines do not get going. 38 of Ross doesn't get the jump that he wanted like he did on the last restart. And there goes Kurtz into the sunset. Let's see if he can get it done. 3 wide behind him. Mace all the way up on the outside for 9th. Yusuf Ghali in the middle coming off of turn 2. That is not Morton, that is Mullahan. And,
Oh, no.
And if you're the 45, this is totaling 10, 12 trucks involved.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow. I don't even know what to say. That was the whole field.
Ghali was just outside of the top 5 when this all unloaded.
It was 84. Just hitting the door.
Did he get into him?
Yeah, I got hit in the door. We'll go back with the 97. What number is Ghali? I don't recall now.
45.
Go back with the 45 machine here, and we'll see what he saw. See Mullahan down on the inside with 6. They're all wiggling, got caught up with each other, and then track is blocked at that moment, and you got somehow the 51 made it through. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Holy
He
moly.
gained about 8 spots from that.
Yeah, that might be the
Let's go
break
with
that he
Morton
needed.
Peyton Hubbard.
Up to 6th. That was some great maneuvering by that machine, but a lot of drivers not so fortunate were caught up in that accident.
It's a lot like Dover on this racetrack where that backstretch, or the old backstretch, you come through there and it just clogs up. The racetrack just blockades after you get 2 or 3 dominoes of trucks across the line. You have nowhere to go. If we could ride on board with the 51, I'd really like to see his on board there with what he had going on, because he bobbed and weaved and zigged and zagged and just perfectly through the hole there. Yusuf Ghali, who had kind of got caught up in the beginning of that, he didn't lose too much. He's still up in 7th, but watch this right here. On board with the 51. That's a tight one.
Yeah, that's hard to do.
Especially he had, I believe it was the 48 of Lucas Lyons go across his nose as that was happening. So he had no idea where anyone was wrecking. Kudos to the 51 of Hubbard. He worked his way back up to the top 10 with that right there.
Yeah, up to the 6th position. He now has a realistic chance, as he is the first car on new tires, actually. He's got 6-lap fresher tires than your top 5. I don't know if that'll come into play here with only probably a green-white checker to go, but I've seen crazier things in this race, let me tell you.
Yeah, we're going to extend the race for our first green-white checker. We'll have 3 attempts at that here tonight. For those of you that don't know how that works, the leader will take the green flag. They will race 1 lap back around for the white flag. If they make it across the line, the race will be official. There will be no more yellows. If the leader isn't to the start-finish line before another wreck happens, we will re-rack and add an additional 3 laps to the end. We will do this 3 times tonight. However, once we reach that 3rd one, if we get another caution on that 3rd restart, the race will be official, the field will be frozen, and your winner could be announced under yellow. Andy Kurtz, your leader right now. Chad Ross, Bobby Hall Jr., Sean Kaser, and Michael Robinson in the 4 truck. He's been silently working his way up towards the top 5. How about that for him?
Yeah, that's a good run for that 4 machine. We don't say his name a lot on these broadcasts, but he is making a case for it tonight, and we'll see if he can pull out a good finish here in that red number 4 machine.
I remember watching a compilation video with the number 4, Michael Robinson, hanging out in the Discord the other night. We watched all of the Nuremberg Ring wrecks. They have open track days So he has a pretty good understanding of what is possible here tonight at Phoenix. Here he goes into the restart zone just behind Bobby Hall and Andy Kurtz. Kurtz going to get another great restart. Green flag is out. Missed shift there for the 38, and Bobby Hall is going to take it into dog leg. He's going to have the advantage. 3 wide here with Kaser. And they make it back around for the white flag. Kurtz has the win in hand. Everyone from second place on back has lost position on him. They will not be able to catch back up to him, barring that he doesn't make a mistake. It looks like we're going to make it to the white flag. Yusuf Ghali on the outside of Michael Robinson. Kaser down to the inside wall. He's going to wreck. Sean Kaser out of contention for the top 10. He falls all the way back to about 15th position.
He saved it
Andy
somehow.
Kurtz now off of turn 1 and 2 for the final time. Into 3 and 4, and your winner here today is going to be the 5 into the back of the 76. What happened there? That gave a lot of ground, but he still gets the win. I think I said wind there, Morgan.
I don't know. That was that knocked the wind out of me for sure. I bet knocked the wind out of the 5 machine too. Driving to the back of a lap car, coming to the win. I don't think I've ever seen that before, and still somehow was able to motor this thing home in front of that 94 machine. That was a terrific run for Andy Kurtz tonight.
And a little congratulatory tap there from Peyton Hubbard, who raced his way back up to the 5th spot. Yusuf Ghali gets 4th. But if we have a chance to go back and watch that final couple laps after this, burning it down here for Andy Kurtz. And I believe his 2nd win of the season.
And big congratulations in order for this 5 machine. Burnout down the dog leg, but yeah, let's go.
That's his first win, actually. First win.
Oh, now he's inside that painted O'Reilly area. Oh no, NASCAR's not going to like that. Let's go see if we can find what happened to the 24 machine.
Kurtz got turned into the inside wall. I think he came loose off of 3 and 4. And he fell all the way out of the top 10. Go back to 12th. He comes off the corner just loose. I don't think Ross touched him. Into the inside wall. Look at all these guys. If anybody would have chose, yeah, you got a hailstorm going by you here.
And let's ride on board with Kurtz as he sees a very slow 67 machine trying to get out of the way, can't get out of the way. And there's 2nd place right behind him. That was close to 4 car spins. Couple other cars spin back there. That would have been a interesting sort of finish if Kurtz didn't pull that one out.
It was the 76 machine of Ron Morse Jr. that was in front there for the very end of this race, but now taking it to victory lane. If you go back to a live shot, the 5 is actually parked it in victory lane here at Phoenix Raceway. And all the fans have cleared the area to let that truck burn it down, but that will do it. Post-race interviews with your top 3, the Overtake iRacing League Truck Series at Phoenix. We'll take a quick commercial break while we round those drivers up. You're watching V-Speed live on YouTube. Back more after this.
Here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
No, gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Zwack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
Back live from the Phoenix Raceway, the Overtake iRacing League Truck Series has concluded its 90 laps. We had a little bit of overtime here today, but there's the final results. 10 cautions and 4 lead changes. Andy Kurtz is victorious here today. Bobby Hall Jr. is going to come home in second position. Chad Ross in third. Yusuf Ghali races his way from 28th up to 4th. I think he did that 3 times today. He's going to be in the top 5. Peyton Hubbard, another driver who led a lot of laps, started in 3rd. He'll race his way to a top 5. Travis Bieber in the 114. We didn't mention his name too much tonight, but he's going to get 6th position. Congrats to him. Michael Robinson, I believe, the highest finish for the Ford truck. He'll get 7th. Dustin Reinstedel in 8th. Kenneth McCullough Jr., who got caught up in a very early stage 1 caution, he'll get a top 10. And Lucas Lyons, the guy under the microscope, well, he's going to bring it home after flipping over here at Phoenix into the top 10.
Coming home 11th was Kaiser in the 07. Right in front of Kaiser in the 12, who got loose, obviously, and almost spun there on the last lap. Went from 7th down to 12th. Sheets finished in 13th position. Mollahan, who was caught up in a few things this evening, finished in 14th. Worthington in the 113 will finish 15th. Wiegand, who also had his incidents here tonight, finished 16th. Right in front of Cunningham, who finished 17th. Paul in the 93 came home 18th. Ron Morris Jr. was the lap car at the end of the race with the leader. He finished 19th, right in front of Kaufman in 20th.
21st goes to Kyle Mace. The luck continues for the 55 this season. Christopher McCullough gets 22nd. David Farmer, who was up there in the top 5, not sure exactly. I mean, that truck just totaled there. 84 got into, I believe, Yusuf Ghali. It was the big wreck there to set up our green-white checkered. Barry Morton, who will be your points leader after the reset for the playoffs. The number 9 is going to bring it home 24th. Nick Gardner, your pole sitter. There's a lot of tough breaks back here outside the top 20, Morgan. Justin Branham, who was up in the top 10 all race long, and then the last 15 laps ensued. The 58 is going to get 26th. Alex Healy, league admin and owner of Overtake iRacing League, is going to get 27th. Eric Parks, another truck that started up towards the front, 28th. And Michael Cole, 29th position. I said Parks was up towards the front. That was later in the race, but the 73, not a good day. So now we'll go track side and get your post-race interviews. The first driver we're going to bring up here in the booth is your 3rd place finisher, Chad Ross. It's Morgan Cook, Bradley Cooper in the broadcast booth. Do you got a copy with us?
Yeah, guys, I got you.
Well, Chad, you had many restarts where you picked off a position, but then it seemed like when you got behind the leader, you just didn't have that advantage of getting the go, and a lot of guys put you under fire, but you're able to bring it home in the top 3. Chad, it was an eventful night.
Yeah, it was. I was a lot better on the long run, so those late restarts were kind of killing me, and especially a couple times, starting second, I'd rather start third, because it's hard to see the leader next to you. So, but at least I was able to stay up there and dodge all the carnage out there. So finally get to talk to you guys. I think it's my best finish of the season.
Well, Chad, you've been up towards the front in a lot of these races. We've seen you in the top 5 for a lot of these events. And the last regular season race, we come in here with the mentality of it's kind of a win and you're in deal with the playoffs, but you're sitting 6th in points. After tonight, you'll probably pass up Daniel Cunningham and Alex Healy. It's going to be really, really tight here. But talk us through what the rest of this season has in store for the 38 team.
Well, I like the next 2 weeks, Bristol and Kansas. Coda, I don't even own. So I figure if I could win Bristol and Kansas, I'll probably just skip that week. But and Darlington should be good for me. Talladega, who knows? But I don't know. I feel pretty good about it. I don't have any playoff points, so that's going to hurt me. So I'm going to need some good runs.
Well, it's going to be a tough one here, but bringing it into the podium, tough to do here. You had some guys racing down here tonight, as they call it here in the Overtake iRacing League. So kudos to you to get your highest finish with some of the guys from the Xfinity and Cup Series. Do you have anybody you'd like to shout out?
Yeah, just as always, man, thank all my buddies on Team 3. thanks to you guys for your broadcast, all the guys behind the scenes at OiL for the great job they're doing for us. And I just want to say hi to my dad who's watching at home.
Well, hello, Dad, and we appreciate your time. Thank you, Chad, for the kind words, and we'll send you back. Maybe get to talk to you post race during the postseason and the playoffs here for
Looking-
Overtake iRacing League.
Yep, looking forward to it, guys. Thanks.
38, third place finisher here today at Phoenix Raceway, Chad Ross. And we'll move on down pit road. We're caught up here with your second place finisher of the night. That's Bobby, the field filler. I had a little trouble looking for you here in the Discord. Field filler, I would probably estimate you more as the guy that was filling the top three because you raced up in the top five for a lot of this race here tonight, Bobby.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised. This track is a hit and miss type of track, and it's just I try to run the track like it's supposed to be ran, down to the white line and the dog leg, and but hey, I'll take it.
Well, the reconfiguration of this racetrack, I think it's seen like 10 of them in the last 20 years. Richmond, Phoenix rather. It's been a weird place because now when you come down that backstretch, what used to be the backstretch, the run, you have to carry it all the way off of 4 or off of 2 into 3 and 4 to get that position. And it seemed like on these restarts, it just was a toss up with whether or not you had the momentum.
Yeah, like I wanted to run the bottom in 1 and 2, but if I started on the outside, I figured I would stick it up against the wall and get the momentum off the corner. And I feel like that's where I made a few of the passes on a couple of restarts. And during that one long run that we had, I felt like the top was just better for me.
You got some fans here in the chat. K9 Burnout says, I heard Bobby's voice somewhere. You're hearing it right now with the post race second place here tonight, Bobby. Congratulations. You've locked yourself into this top 16.
Yeah, it's definitely been a uphill battle since the beginning. It feels like the last few years of league racing with a few of these guys, the first 5-6 weeks, I'm always taken out, involved in wrecks, and look at the season status. I don't think I got a top 10 until like week 8 or something, maybe 9, and then it just slowly started getting a little better. The train's starting to run.
Yeah. Shovel the coal, man. 3 top 10s here to complete the season, 1 top 5. You're going to add another one to that bracket as well. So you're going to have 2 top 5s and 4 top 10s. Congrats on that as well. And you'll probably gain a couple here in the points when we hit the reset. Bobby, is there anyone that you would like to shout out for tonight's performance?
Yeah, first and foremost is always our team, Team Flex, with Dan and Wes and Alex and my cousin Tommy and another teamie Dakota. Without us just bouncing shit off each other, trying to have fun, try to take it serious when we need to. I think that's what helps us have fun. V Speed for the broadcast as usual, without their cool angles and the funny posts I watch and hear, and so it keeps everything fun and alive.
Well,
Of
we have
course,
all the angles.
yeah, and of course our competitors. I mean, this race I felt like could have ran a little better, but I mean, I don't know what most of the cautions were. Was it the dive bombs sliding up into people or what? I don't know, but oh well. I mean, on to next week.
Well, it sounds like an exhausting reaction to an exhausting season. The claw uphill, the mountain, if you will. Bobby Hall gets second place. Congratulations, and we'll see you in the postseason, buddy.
Yeah, and we'll see what tomorrow brings in Xfinity at Daytona.
Bobby Hall Jr., second place finisher here today. He'll be racing tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time in the Xfinity League. And that finally brings us down to our winner. Andy Kurtz is alongside with Morgan Cook. He was officially in the victory lane here at Phoenix Raceway. Take it away, Morgan.
Andy Kurtz, you found your way to V-Speed victory lane here at Phoenix. Interesting race, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, for sure. Had a good long run in there, but yeah, a couple more cautions than I would have expected, for sure.
So you led a lot of this race, 54 laps out of the, I think, 94 or so that we ended up completing here. And once you got the lead, you never gave it back. Something to do with the cautions and the restarts, and your restarts were always on point here tonight. So we get down to the last 15 laps or so. I think we have a caution around that area, and it sets you up for the end of the race. Are you just thinking, if I nail this restart, this race is mine?
Yeah, I knew I'd have a pretty good advantage, especially track like this where you can start in first, just starting early in the box, and just really maximize, how much I could pull ahead of, second place. So it was working out well. So just figured if I keep doing it, hopefully no one would catch on to what I was doing and come away with the win. So yeah, super pumped about how it worked out.
And you were also great on the long run a little earlier in this race from about lap 30 until 60. So you kind of had them beat both ways on the restarts and on those long runs. What do you do differently here than maybe another, like a mile and a half or whatever have you, to try and keep the tires and everything underneath you at such a short racetrack with different banking on either side?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I like driving this track a lot. This track is often, somewhat boring to watch. It can be tough to pass, but it's a lot of fun to drive, and especially when you get shifting involved. So I do like some shorter tracks where you can shift. So like tonight, I think I was shifting in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 a little bit at the end of that last run. Had a blast racing Peyton. Him and I have had a lot of good battles throughout the season. I think he had some bad luck there, get involved in something, but he was starting to reel me back in over that long run, and I was trying some different things. A track like this is really cool because you could trout shift in, different turns, see what works for you. So I was trying that out. I don't know that I was the quickest car in a long run, but just finally had one go my way tonight. So feeling really good about that.
Speaking of going your way, it just about didn't, coming to the finish line there off
Oh
that
man,
last lap.
yeah, I forgot about that.
Why don't you tell me about how that was and what you're thinking leading up to catching the lap car, and then obviously when you got around him.
Yeah, man, I think I blacked out during that, so it was a good thing I forgot about that between when that happened and now. But yeah, I mean, I saw a lap car coming out of the pits, and I don't know, he was probably just trying to get his bearings, and I was catching him a heck of a lot down the backstretch, coming the last set of turns, and it's like, man, please just don't, please be anywhere but the bottom where I'm gonna run, and he just parked it right down there. I know he didn't mean to do it. I just don't think he saw me behind him, so it was all good. I mean, still on the race, so that's why I'm laughing about it. But yeah, he apologized, and I told him it's all good. I always wanted to give someone the bump and run to pull off a win, so it's all good.
Well, box was checked, and who do you want to thank for this big win here tonight at Phoenix?
Yeah, man. Yeah, thank you guys up in the booth. V Speed putting on an awesome broadcast for us for both the two series I run, Monday and Tuesday night here at OiL. So it's been great. Want to thank Alex, Dave, everyone, admins for putting this on, and of course want to thank my awesome teammates at Bandits and C2 for just being a lot of fun to race with throughout the season. So it's been a good season. Looking forward to the playoffs.
Right on. Well, it was a good run here tonight for Andy Kurtz at Phoenix. We're going to go back to Bradley Cooper.
So 10 races rather here for the end of the season. We'll be going to Bristol Motor Speedway next week, and we'll be carrying on for the playoffs. The regular season has concluded here at Phoenix Raceway. We hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast of the Overtake iRacing League Truck Series. And some of the information on your screen might be a little inaccurate, but there's the schedule up on the screen right now. It's Bristol, Kansas, COTA for the next 3. The short track, the mile and a half, and the road course to start off the playoffs. So you got a little bit of variety of everything. And if you favor one over the other, you better find a way to mitigate the damage at the tracks you're not as good at. But here today for the Overtake iRacing League Truck Series, we hope you enjoyed it. This has been another great broadcast. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, make sure you do so you never miss a single race when we bring you flag-to-flag coverage tomorrow night for the Xfinity Series at 9 p.m. Eastern Time here on V-Speed. But for everybody at V-Speed, Adam Baker, doing all the things he does in the background, putting all these things together. Morgan Cook, our producer and co-commentator of the night. I would say lead commentator. He just does a phenomenal job. Our other two producers, Eddie Smith and Christian Hill, our other broadcasters that make all of these races happen, Alex Gagnon, Alec Martinez, just the list goes on and on. It keeps getting bigger. Justin Prince. I mean, we could just keep going forever. This is Bradley Cooper telling you to have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Happy Easter, everybody. Take care.